Just to start out with a little bit of background, at Cracker Barrel, we're continuously focused on rejuvenating our menu and looking for new ways to connect our guests and their families with the craveable and home-style cooking that they've come to love with us. And while most of this rejuvenation has been centered on promotional offerings throughout the year, we did recently launch a core dinner menu enhancement as part of a multi-phase menu refresh and simplification rollout. At Cracker Barrel, our menu has undergone many iterations since our first store opened in 1969, but we haven't launched a menu enhancement on this scale for many years. Because of the size and the scope of the changes and the timing of the launch falling within the pandemic, our training team knew that we would need to think differently and more creatively about how we brought this to market for our employees. We really wanted to come up with a new approach for solving previous gaps in learning that were both cumbersome and expensive and had very little engagement. And I might be having a little trouble with the slide. Here we go. Our first training objective was to begin education on our core menu enhancements prior to actual in-store training so that there would be some familiarity and a baseline knowledge from which to platform once in-store training began. We also wanted to create some excitement and anticipation among our employee base for the menu innovation being launched. So we created a late night style show to introduce the changes and to communicate and reinforce training priorities along the way. We also created e-learning modules that could be taken remotely from home, which is particularly important in the pandemic, prior to the scheduled in-store training sessions. Easter eggs were hidden in the remote courses that were specific words for each skill position, with the end goal of having employees put the words together as a team to form a phrase that they would in turn take pictures of and then share back out on our internal employee communication channel. The phrase, which was "home style is our style," was also introduced in the late night show as a precursor to the activity. Our second training objective was to leverage a blended learning approach for in-store training to make learning fun and interactive and engaging. The in-store training included role plays and hands-on activities for each of the skill positions, but it also included an assortment of fun games, such as the ones that you see here, Flipped and Order Up, which I think many of you will recognize as a play on the popular Heads Up game. But our final and our most important training objective was the successful integration into our operating platform through sustainment initiatives following the initial training implementation. Our sustainment included employee sampling weekends across the company and dedicated training support for the program. But we also coordinated position-specific areas of focus each week following the launch of the new menu to reinforce the key takeaways, such as scripting and plate presentation. The Focus program was affectionately coined the Dinner Games, and stores had the ability to earn points on a leaderboard for engagement with the campaign, which included things like pictures, employee recognition, and even TikTok-style videos. The winning store of the Dinner Games was featured in a live episode of our late night show, where our Cracker Barrel leadership teams really came together to celebrate the employees and their successes throughout the campaign. The menu launch campaign was overwhelmingly well received by our employees and our store leadership teams. It had the highest level of active participation and engagement of any training campaign that we've launched. Our e-learning course completion was also at an all-time high, nearing about 100%, and we received thousands of unique recognition moments associated with the Dinner Games, a few of which you can see here. Employees and store leadership told us that amidst all of the uncertainty that the pandemic has created, that this really was much needed team building and fun. I have to say, we couldn't have pulled this off without an amazing cross-functional team. Each of the individuals on this slide committed 110% to making the menu launch a huge success. And I could not have been more grateful to have had the opportunity to work with each and every one of them on this campaign. And so with that, if any of you are interested in hearing more about the campaign, I would love to connect with you. And you can reach me via email at laura.lidyard@crackerbarrel.com. Thank you.